Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today I wanted to show you the completed snowed-in quilt. Well, the quilting's all completed. It still needs to be bound, but otherwise it's pretty much done. So here I have it hanging up on my design wall, and I think you can see, I think the light is fairly good. You can see quite a bit of the quilting here from this view, but I'll give you some close-ups here in just a minute. That shadow across the top is from the lights that I have hanging in the ceiling that cast a shadow there, so that's not quite as good as I'd like it to be, but that's kind of the way that things are set up here. I did finish the sashing, got that all quilted, but I didn't take any video while I was doing it. I was being constantly interrupted while I was quilting, so I didn't get any of the videos. So here I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see that a little bit better. And I just did a crosshatch, and those crosshatches are 2 inches apart, so I just used the piecing of the baskets as my guidelines and just put in little marks as I needed to where there wasn't any piecing to guide me. So I used a water-soluble pen, and then when I got done quilting, I sprayed everything down with a bottle of water, and the marks all faded away. So, and when I do that, I leave the quilt on the machine, and it's got some tension on it, and that way the quilt won't shrink. So it looks pretty nice and fresh when I'm done. So there is the block, the first block that I did, and that one is different from, well, they're all different, but they all have similarities. But there is the first one. You can see I did some rectangular type cross hatching in there, and then each block is a little bit different, but there are some similarities. There's all the cross hatching in those side pieces around the blocks, and the continuous curve in the handles, and I believe each of the bases of the baskets also has continuous curve. There is something that I like about sampler blocks is you don't have to quilt the same design in each quilt or in each block. You can do something different in each block, so it keeps me from getting bored. So I really like sampler blocks for that reason. That's one of the reasons. I also like the variety of the blocks. And here is a little close-up of the feather quilting and one of the setting triangles. And sorry for my camera skills. My tripod's a little stiff, so I'm having trouble getting smooth movements on it. And I am doing this as a voiceover here. Okay, this is the border, and here you can see a little bit better the poinsettia flowers that I quilted in there. I just did kind of a pointed 5-petal flower with 3 circles in the center, and to me that said poinsettia. So you can't see it real well unless you're fairly close to it because the thread color blends in with the fabric, and the fabric is pretty busy. So you really can't see it other than that. And I will turn this over and show it to you on the back so that you can see the thread a little bit better. Here is the back of the quilt, and you can see that little poinsettia quilting a little bit better. And it's not perfect. Each flower is a little bit different because it's all freehand, and because it was a little bit difficult to see while I was quilting because the thread blended in with the fabric really well. So there you can see the quilting a little bit closer, and you can see I wasn't worried about quilting over previous quilting. I just was having fun and just quilted in those little poinsettia flowers and just connected them in like a chain. So I think that was fun. Now on something like this, you could put in more quilting. You can see there's a lot of space that could use more quilting, and I could have put in more swirls or more leaves or done like a pine branch or something in there. But I think this actually was all I wanted to do. I really didn't want to do anything other than this. And this quilt doesn't have a lot of heavy quilting in it, so I was trying to keep everything balanced. So I think this was just about right for this quilt. Here is one of the corners that I just quilted a feather, or I quilted a flower in, and then just carried it on down around the corner there. So nothing fancy about that. And then here you can see a little bit more of the quilting. And, you know, this is not heavy quilting, it's just kind of medium density, but I think that worked pretty well. And here is the completed quilt. So I think it turned out really well. It turned out pretty square. Sometimes quilts on point can be a little bit tricky keeping them square, but this one I really didn't have any trouble with. So I think it turned out really well. So the binding goes on next, and it'll be a red fabric, so it'll tie in with the sashing. And here I'll show you some close-ups of the finished quilt. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.